This episode of Peculiar Places takes place in Saginaw, Michigan. Also known as Mid-Michigan, this town began its exposure in the 19th century, exporting lumber as the U.S. started to expand west. In the 20th century, they jumped on the industrial bandwagon as Detroit began to maximize on manufacturing cars. A company specializing in small car parts made a deal with Buick, expanding Saginaw's employment and production rate tremendously, causing their economy to skyrocket. It may seem like this town has got it all, but with great gains comes great losses, making Saginaw, Michigan prime real estate for paranormal activities and unusual going-ons. If you've been to Saginaw, chances are you've heard of the Shooch Hotel. Built in 1868, this hotel was a private residence for lumber barons and wasn't actually a hotel until 1879. In 1912, John Shooch and his father purchased the hotel and added a cafe to the ground floor. 20 years later, the hotel was noted as a private museum, being recognized by the Library of Congress to allegedly have over 50,000 historical items. Decades of businesses and owners later, the building was resold and remodeled in 2004, making it one of the oldest operating saloons to this day, full of history and hauntings. The hotel itself stands on Hamilton Street, rumored to be a nexus of paranormal activity. This street houses multiple locations with fuzzy pasts. Due to the 19th century lumber boom, Saginaw had a large influx of traffic moving to, living, and dying in the city, soaking the grounds with the souls of the deceased. And at least 150 years old, the stable is no stranger to hauntings. It was a funeral home for more than 100 years, cremating bodies inside the building. Not only that, it was built on a Native American burial ground and also the site of at least 2 murders during the lumber boom. After its long history of being used as a mortuary and library, its final days were as a ski and bike shop. As of now, the building is for lease if you feel inclined to carry on its historical legacy. Maybe the most notable building in Saginaw is the Hoyt Library. The idea of this establishment started in 1877 when Jesse Hoyt, a resident of New York City, gifted $100,000 to the city and promises of a substantial library under the stipulation that would always have the name Hoyt Public Library. This will was executed in June of 1882, with Jesse Hoyt dying just 2 months after approval. After help from H. Richardson for the design, Frederick Poole, one of the most outstanding librarians in the United States at the time, chose an adequate design and they got to work. Starting construction in 1887, it took 3 years, but the library was officially opened to the public on November 1st in 1890. After roughly 130 years of service, the library has withstood the test of time, but with more than what it was designed for. There have been mentions of specter sightings, including a young girl who wanders the auditorium and Harriet Ames, Hoyt's first librarian. There have also been multiple reports of a phantom typewriter clacking in the night and severe cold spots while walking throughout the library. The rumors of ghosts within Hoyt's walls have become so popular that it was the topic of 2015's docuseries Haunted Saginaw. Aside from the numerous experiences had here, the library stands strong to this day and even larger than before. It does make you wonder though, does a young girl still haunt the former children's books? Does the restless spirit of Harriet Ames still wander the halls? Get your library card for the Hoyt Public Library in Michigan and check it out yourself.